Did you know that a single, simple action can strip a manipulator, someone with narcissistic traits, of their power over you? They're not as strong as you think. Their strength only exists as long as you keep reacting, keep caring, keep trying to explain. But what happens when you go silent and walk away from their game? In today's video, we'll explore a subtle yet incredibly powerful strategy to reclaim your emotional control and make it impossible for a narcissist to keep manipulating your mind. Make sure to hit the subscribe button and stay with us until the end, because what you're about to discover could change the way you handle every toxic relationship from this day forward. Imagine you're sitting in a chessboard, but this isn't a normal game. Your opponent doesn't need brilliant tactics or clever moves. They only need one thing: your reaction. Every time you get angry, explain yourself, or try to fix things, they advance another step in their psychological manipulation. That's exactly how a narcissist operates. Their power isn't rooted in logic, but in your emotional vulnerability. What gives a narcissist power isn't intelligence. It's their ability to live off the emotional energy of others. They don't define their worth from within. They exist through your gaze, your words, and most importantly, your impulsive reactions. They don't need your love. They only need you to be unable to ignore them. Whether it's anger, hurt, or a desperate need to be understood, it all feeds them. Have you ever left a conversation with someone like this feeling drained and confused, as if you were constantly explaining yourself and it was never enough? And when you finally broke down, cried, or lost your composure, they stayed calm, played the reasonable one, and made you look unstable. That's not a coincidence. That's the game. A psychological trap designed for you to step in first. But here's the truth. You can flip the script. You don't need to argue, scream, or prove anything. What weakens them the fastest isn't resistance. It's indifference. When you stop playing their game, when you stop explaining, stop fixing, stop letting your emotions get dragged into their chaos, in that very moment, their power begins to crack. What happens when you simply say, "You're entitled to think whatever you want," and walk away? When you do that, not as a reaction, but because you're no longer emotionally controlled, you've just done the one thing they fear most. You became free. And that is just the beginning. In the next part, you'll discover why intentional detachment, not confrontation, is the most powerful way to escape the cycle of manipulation. Stay with us until the end, because once you master your emotions, you don't just break free from the narcissist, you reclaim yourself. One of the most shocking truths, and also the key to breaking free from a narcissist manipulation, is this: they don't care about the truth. They don't need you to be right or wrong. The only thing they crave is your reaction, your emotional response to them. The stronger your reaction, the more control they feel they have. And that's why they'll twist the story, rewrite the facts, or even blame you, as long as you stay trapped in the emotional battlefield they've created. They manipulate by creating chaos in your mind. They make you question your own emotions. One day you feel loved, the next you feel completely worthless. This cycle of hot and cold affection isn't random. It's a strategy, a tactic designed to make you emotionally dependent, constantly seeking their approval or validation, even if you're not aware you're doing it. That's why calmness, silence, and non-reaction are the ultimate weapons against a narcissist. When you can remain grounded in the face of provocation, when you don't feel the need to explain yourself, when you stop trying to correct the narrative, you reclaim your power. But be cautious. Once they sense you're pulling away, they won't let go easily. They may suddenly act remorseful, loving, or promise to change. This is their final move to pull you back in. Or they may become more cruel, more aggressive, smearing your name, just to see if you still have any emotional ties left. That's why you must understand, detachment isn't just an external act, it's an internal state. It's not pretending to be cold, it's truly being unaffected. It's not running away, it's seeing the truth for what it is and choosing peace over power struggles. In the next section, we'll dive deep into how to set boundaries. Not with grand speeches, but through clear actions that need no explanation. And in that moment, you'll realize true freedom doesn't come from making them understand you, but from no longer needing them to. There's a common misconception when dealing with narcissists that you need to explain yourself clearly, prove your point, or end things with a reasonable conversation. But the truth is, when dealing with a master emotional manipulator, the more you speak, the more they find cracks in your boundaries. Narcissists don't care what you say. They only care if what you say keeps you interacting with them. Every explanation, every "I did that because I was hurt," becomes an open door for them to twist, weaponize, or make you doubt yourself even more. So what's the solution? It's setting boundaries without words, without justification, without negotiation, a simple no, a calm gaze, a silent exit without explanation. That unshakable silence is what throws the narcissist into chaos, because they can't manipulate what they can't read. Many kind and empathetic people feel guilty for being cold like that. But the truth is, it's not cruelty, it's self-protection. You don't have to hurt others, but you are absolutely allowed to stop letting them hurt you. Remember, boundaries are not to change them, they're to protect you. You can't control how they react, but you can control how you respond. And every time you hold that boundary without wavering, you lay another brick in the foundation of your emotional freedom. The narcissist may try to come back, they may use every tactic, blame, victimhood, fake transformation. But if you've learned how to stand firm in silence and clarity, then no matter what they do, you'll no longer be pulled into their storm. And that's when you realize power lies not in how you react, but in your ability not to. The more they try to drag you back into the old game, the more you step away in silence, and in that silence, you reclaim your life. One of the most insidious tactics narcissists use is turning your emotions into tools of control. They don't need physical strength or social power. They only need to make you lose control of your inner world. And once you're trapped in that emotional game, you stop responding because you believe in something. You respond because you're desperate to escape the pressure. In psychology, this is called emotional enmeshment, a blurring of emotional boundaries where you can no longer distinguish your real feelings from the ones shaped by manipulation. Narcissists love to create highs and lows, a sudden push, then an unexpected pull, keeping you in a constant state of confusion. And in that confusion, people become weaker, more dependent, and easier to control. That's why the next crucial step after setting boundaries is this: stop seeking their validation. You may have been convinced you were too sensitive, too rigid, too emotional, but those are just repeated tricks to make you doubt yourself. They don't want you strong, because if you're strong, you'll leave. They don't want you calm, because if you're calm, you'll see the truth of the relationship. So remind yourself, I don't need them to understand me. I only need to understand myself. I don't need them to acknowledge my boundaries. I just need to honor them every single day. I don't need to win an argument. I just need to not step into one in the first place. And on this journey, the most important skill you can develop is emotional regulation. A narcissist only truly loses control when they can no longer make you lose control. If they throw insults and all you do is smile gently or remain silent and unfazed, they start to unravel. They won't know where to hook into you anymore. And when there's nothing left to trigger you, they begin to feel helpless, the very thing they fear most. Still, be prepared. When they see you're no longer reacting, they may escalate. They'll test you through sharper attacks, playing the victim, or worse, involving others to pressure you emotionally. This is a critical moment, but it's also the moment where your true strength is revealed. Staying grounded, not reacting emotionally, not falling into the trap of pity. You don't need to shout, I'm strong. Let your calm presence say it for you. Because strife doesn't come from how many arguments you win. It comes from no longer needing to argue at all. You're no longer living to be understood. You're living to be free. In the end, you must understand this. A narcissist doesn't fear your anger. They don't fear your powerful words in a debate. What they truly fear is your indifference. Because when you stop reacting, stop trying to prove yourself, stop seeking their approval, their power disappears. You don't need to win in their eyes. You need to win within yourself. And that victory begins the moment you decide. No more explaining, no more chasing praise or apologies. Just you and your emotional freedom. If what I've shared in this video resonates with you, hit subscribe, because the journey to emotional liberation isn't meant to be walked alone. It's a path of awakening, of inner strength, and of a community rising out of the shadows together. You deserve a life of peace, a life free from control, a life where you don't need permission to be who you are. And it all begins with one simple decision. You choose to stop playing their game.